Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I have the privilege to interview Clif Alfred, St. Andrews recruiting coordinator and assistant coach. How are you doing today?
Doing well. Hope you are. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Can you talk about your experience so far in coaching?
Yeah, I've been lucky enough to do it for 10 years. It's been big for me because I get to help kids not only baseball wise, but understand life and just be a better human being to go out in the world and kind of just take on the life's challenges.
Can you talk about what you've achieved so far at St. Andrews?
We've brought in some really talented players. A year ago, not this past year, but the year before that, we off to the best start in school history. We beat Tennessee Wesleyan 2 years ago for the first time in program history, things like that. So we're kind of on the upswing with things. We're working our butt off to kind of get better every day.
Can you talk about your experience as their hitting coach?
Yeah, I've enjoyed it. I really have. We have really good guys, good players. They've been very responsive to what we talked about. My hitting philosophy is very much of, we're trying to, hit a lot of doubles. We don't really talk about a lot of fly ball ratio or ground ball ratio, things like that, but just try to hit the ball as hard as we possibly can every time. And the players have done such an unbelievable job with that. And, the stats may not reflect it every game, but they do a really good job with what we're doing here.
As your experience with you working in the MLB, does that help you as a hitting coach for?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did some part-time stuff with the Phillies. It does. Obviously, watching those guys go about their work day to day and understanding what you're looking for as far as recruiting and scouting and things like that. So, it definitely did. And I enjoyed it for the 1 year I was there.
Can you talk about your experience with the Phillies as their scout?
Yeah, I basically just helped out on the East Coast of North Carolina. I was a high school coach at the time, so I just helped out whenever I could with a friend of mine who coached me when I was younger. So, yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was it was a lot of fun. So,
can you talk about the amazing 2016 season?
Yeah, our 16th season. We were off to the best start in school history, I think, at the time. We kind of had some injuries and things kind of didn't go our way late in the year. But, in 2016, it was just it was a good year. It was a good year for us, and our guys really did a really, really good job of playing as hard as they could every game.
How did you become the player at St. Andrews and then go on to coaching?
At the time, the coaching staff thought I was good enough to play in college. I played here for 4 years. My biggest accomplishment for 3 years in a row, I was unanimously selected to be the captain, which meant your teammates really trusted you and wanted you as the guy in the crunch time. But I played with a lot of great players here that were probably more deserving than I was. I just happened to be the catcher, so everybody kind of looked at me as a team leader at the time. And other than that, I think I have some records. I'm not really sure, but I enjoyed my time here. We had a really good squad. I had a lot of really, really good baseball players I played with, and then obviously off the field too. We were really, really close off the field. So,
how was the transition from being a player to now a coach?
It was pretty easy. I was a catcher. Ray Green, who's our pitching coach here at the time, really, really helped me in that development of my career. He kind of told me that, hey, here's what we have, here's what we're doing. Now it's your job to go kind of lead the pitching staff by calling your own game as a freshman and things like that. So, I'm very, very thankful for him for letting me kind of, make mistakes as a freshman, but also teaching me how to become a coach and relate to other people and things like that. So.
Did you have any offers in the MLB when you finished?
When I got done, I did not. I think I did not have a very good senior year. Everybody else say they were injured. I just didn't play well. That was the long and short of it. I think I could have played at that level, but I just didn't put up enough numbers, things like that. So I never really got a shot.
Can you talk about the recruitment process at St. Andrews?
Yeah, I mean, the process is just, especially with COVID-19 going on, it's kind of tough. But, sending in videos, just, emailing coaches and emailing myself and things like that, try to get on campus for a workout, a private workout, or, if we're in the area and a tournament's going on, things like that. Being evaluated as if you're a person of need for our recruiting class, and then kind of go from there. So, then you have the process of, getting applied, getting financial aid stuff done, and then obviously at the end of it, we get an offer out to you. So that's kind of the overall process.
What do you look in for a player that is trying to go to St. Andrews?
I mean, obviously, a need. If we need a certain position or a certain type of player, I think positionally, it's not really something that we really harp on. I think if you can play the outfield, you can play all three. I think if you play infield, you can play third, short, or second. So that's kind of where we are with that. Other than that, it's just kind of, it's all about what you like. Do you like a guy's swing? Do you like the way he feels the ball, the way he throws? The measurables of obviously the 60-yard dash or the first base or catcher's pop and things like that. But all that stuff is kind of, you can always measure that stuff. But you look at guys that, are they good people? Are they going to play hard all the time? Are they front runners? Are they guys that, may not really play hard if the game doesn't mean anything, things like that. So.
How hard is it with the coronavirus not being able to go out due to the NCAA rule?
We're not NCAA, we're NAI. So with those rules, we're kind of open back up. I actually was out yesterday for a little bit watching some teams and things like that. So it hasn't really affected us. It's just really kind of affected, the fact of some tournaments aren't going on and some tournaments a little bit farther away from us. So,
do you go to more travel baseball games during this time of the summer?
I do. Strictly because a lot of coaches do it because of money. We would love to go to Legion ball games and things like that to see a 9-inning game, but money-wise and cost efficiency to go see two teams as opposed to 42 teams in a tournament just makes more sense from the cost efficiency-wise. Yeah, so we try to get out as much as possible.
Did you go to the senior Sendoff to see some players this past week?
I did not. We were very lucky this year. Our recruiting class was not as big as in years past, and we got it done pretty early. So we were kind of done with that class. We were trying to move it on to the 21s and things like that. So,
what do you look into as you move on to this 2021 class?
Obviously pitching. You can't have enough pitching. We would like to get a left-handed hitter, things like that. But really specific right now early, and then kind of wait and see how things play out with, if guys don't make grades or some guys may transfer unexpectedly or, God forbid something goes on at home or grades and things like that. Mm-hmm.
What advice would you give upcoming high school athletes looking to get recruited to the next level?
Number one, I actually spoke about this a little bit yesterday at the clinic I was at. Number one, be realistic. Number two, do your background research. If I'm recruiting you and we have 3 shortstops and all of them are freshmen or sophomores and you're a shortstop, probably not the place you need to go. Do your background on everything. What they have major-wise, what they're going to do, how their graduation rate is, things like that.
What advice would you give recruiters like you trying to get into the college profession?
It's just work. People will notice you if you just work and develop and things like that. So it's just kind of one of those things where it's kind of whenever you're there and you get an opportunity to work in front of coaches and things like that, do it, and then just be aggressive as far as applying for jobs and letting people know you're interested in moving on to this level and things like that. So it's all about time.
What are some future plans for St. Andrews in the baseball program?
Everybody wants to win a national championship. I think obviously you got to start with winning the regular season. Then you go to the conference tournament, things like that. Just a stepping stone process and making St. Andrews a national relevant team again.
Where can my listeners find you at on social media?
I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, a little bit everything. I try to check stuff as much as possible. But yeah, I mean, I'm on everything. Just look me up. Give me a follow, give me a whatever it is, how they do it now. So, yeah, I'm on about every social media you can find.
Thank you again, Clif, for your interview, and best of luck in your future at St. Andrews. You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Facebook at Brandon Sports Talk, Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brandon, and you can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again, Clif, for your interview, and best of luck in your future.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for having me. Best luck. If I can ever do anything else for you, let me know.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
You too.